Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. How you doing today? Video number 3 with my good friend, the lumberjack landlord. I know him as Matt. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing awesome, Mike. Super excited to be here. Segment number 3.
Yeah,
This is the right way to start a week. That's all I have
yeah,
to say. It's a
I
good
like
way.
it. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, every day Saturday, right? Jab, jab, jab.
Whatever.
Hey, something I've been playing with, and I'm still playing with this. This will likely become a live stream someday when I feel I got it nailed. Is I've interviewed hundreds of people on this channel who have
Yeah.
done amazing things in real estate, such as yourself, right? Ninth grade dropout, all of that stuff. But everybody has life events, right? I talked with Laura Morby over the weekend, and she had a child at 20, for example, right? I lost 150 grand in the stock market, which is more money than I could ever imagine. But where I'm going with this is life's hard for everyone. We don't appreciate that everybody's had hard days. But as I talk to people, what I'm starting to sense, and again, I'm putting it out there, it hasn't come together yet, but I wanted to share it with you because you can help me, is what I'm starting to see in people is either you let those hard things become your fuel or they become your excuses. And it's becoming pretty black and white for me. So I feel comfortable enough having this conversation. But when I first kind of introduced that concept, what does that feel, right? Fuel or excuses? Do you see that in yourself or others that you've worked with?
You just don't like you're not getting enough hate mail, Mike.
Yeah. I get plenty, but I know where the delete button is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean that's what it is. I mean that's the difference, right? Between, quite frankly, I'll get far more extreme: winners and losers.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
Now the hate mail's coming.
Yeah, exactly. Bring it on. Like that's the difference between winners and losers. Like you show me a guy that is willing to do the work. You show me a guy that's going to show up consistently. You show me a guy that wants to learn. You show me a guy that wants to have 2 jobs above him. And I'll show you a guy that in 5 years is far beyond anybody else. Yeah. And that's what it really comes down to. People have to make the choice. It's their choice to make every single day. Yeah. And there is a difference, certainly in, life happening, like life happens sometimes, but a lot of times life happens to you because you're not driving. And, that's the thing is, I mean, you think there weren't obstacles being a 9th grade dropout? Yeah. Only every time I picked up the phone trying to get a damn job. Yeah. And all I had to tell them was, listen, just give me a shot. Just give me a shot. Yeah. Give me a shot. If I suck, send me home. Just give me a shot. Yeah. And it was always that pursuit of wanting to know more, wanting to learn, wanting to show that person that I could do it. And so, yeah, I think that for all of us, listen, life is not easy. It's just not easy.
Yeah. Like, and that's what I want people to hear. Life, people look at us today and they may want to be where we are, but I want them to hear this. All of us, life's been hard historically. Life will be hard in the future.
Of course.
Whatever it is, you call it winners and losers. I call it fuel or excuses. You need to have something you could call on to keep going. Right. Yeah. One of the things that, we both cold called, right?
Oh yeah.
Right. That's goddamn the worst job ever. Because back then we had to like dial, right? No auto dialers and all of these things the kids have today. But you were basically, when you walked in, you knew you were going to get cussed out or hung up on 50 times and leave 40 voicemails and have 3 conversations. But you never knew when you're going to have those 3 conversations. So you had to be on all the time.
All the time.
The other thing is I had a rule, again, being a self-motivated guy, that I have to do 100 dials a day. Absolutely. Even when we did a full QBR, I would do 100 dials. So I remember one time staying there until like 8:30 at night because I wasn't able to break away or whatever and do dials between the day. It's just what you have to do. So you either have fuel that makes you keep going, because I promise you, I have bad days. I have really bad days still.
Sure.
But I have a reserve that I can call on that reminds me that the good days. And again, the road to where we are today was full of potholes and spikes and skin knees and blood and sweat and tears and horrible. I'm really convinced you either have fuel that you call on or there are excuses and you sit down.
Sure. I totally agree with that. I mean, you see it across the board. And Mike, we saw it in software for both of us, right? You see the guy that got the great piece, the great product at the right time. And he could show up whenever and leave whenever. And the only thing that he had to do was make sure that when he got in the morning, he was checking the fax machine for orders. And that when he left for the day, he was checking the fax machine for orders and then throwing them on his desk. And I'll just get those processed tomorrow. We all saw guys like that. It was never me.
Yeah.
We all saw guys like that. And the difference is like, if you had that opportunity, imagine what you could do with it if you just made more of it. If you made those 100 calls a day, that guy would have done 300% of his number without even trying. And I think that's too often. If things are easy right now, you need to be doing more. If things are tough right now, you need to be doing at least what you're doing to try and still get in there, get in the game and get ahead. Like no one's going to do that for you. And I was very obstinate in my, in my teenage years because I had to be. What was my option? You don't have a degree. We don't want to talk to you.
Yeah. So you could have set, I mean, let's be clear, right? Ninth grade dropout, you would have tried, got told no a couple of times.
Yeah.
You could have just either accepted that. You could have turned to crime, I'm guessing,
Yep.
Or you could have gone to McDonald's and just had that be the rest of your life. You could have, that could have been an option, right?
Absolutely. 1000%. I mean, it was that, I had to hustle to make my money, not illegally, but I had to, I mowed lawns. I delivered papers. I mean, you name it, pretty much I did it, digging ditches. Like
ninth grade, you're what, 13, 14?
14.
Oh my
yeah.
God, 14 years old.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. I would do anything. I mean, I literally, I went and I worked and I saved up like $15 and I saved up the $15 just so I could print off flyers that I could put in every single house in the neighborhood to say I could mow their lawn. And of course, this one lady calls me with a foot tall grass, whatever.
You did it.
Tall grass. Yeah. And I did it. And I did it for $15. Was what it was. But I knew that right then, she was my only customer right then. I knew that $15 covered all my stuff, covered all my expenses. And now I was playing with house money after that.
Yeah.
And that's what people just have to get resilient because you know what? There are way too many quitters in this world.
Yeah. And I would tell you, again, this goes back to other things I'm rattling around in my head is I think your network, the 5 people you socialize with every day, they're either battery chargers or battery drainers. Yes. So you may look at yourself and maybe you're not creating excuses. You have fuel, but unfortunately you're burning a lot of that fuel, either protecting yourself or shielding yourself from the negativity that your friends have. Dump some of those friends.
Yeah. Thanks for telling Molly why she didn't get a text back.
No idea who Molly is, but I'm sorry, Molly.
But that's exactly right. That's exactly right. You want to, birds of a feather flock together. Mm-hmm. It's just that simple. And one of the most exciting things for me, Mike, is in December, I cold emailed you. We've never talked before.
Nope, never
cold
did.
Email.
Mm-hmm.
Never talked before. Cold email. And now I would bring any business opportunity I'm faced with. I'd bring it to you because I trust you that much. This is the part. And the most fun thing for me and part of being part of the list of experts is that many of them are way bigger than me.
Yeah.
Way bigger than
me too.
Yeah. They dwarf me in size, not physical stature, but I mean, I am a lumberjack.
That's right.
But financial stature.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They dwarf me. And here's the thing. I watch those guys intently. I am always learning. I am always putting fuel in my tank to learn the next thing, to understand the next thing. And you have to want to, and you have to need to be hungry and attain knowledge if you want to do more, because people that rely on their brokers to teach them, or people that rely on their real estate broker or their banking broker or whomever to teach them, I got news for you. They don't have time to teach you. They are order takers right now.
Yeah.
Learn it yourself. You can do the work.
Yeah. So what I really want people to take from this is I want you to kind of sit back and realize you make a choice every day. Yeah. Life's hard for everyone. It may look easy on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. Trust me, it's hard for everybody. But the difference is how they attack the day, right? Absolutely. They either use their history as fuel or they have excuses. And again, that fuel could get spent lots of ways. Like your network could drain it. And that's unfortunate. Mm-hmm. So self-evaluate. And again, if you have been creating excuses like, oh, my market's too expensive or this or that, it's true for everyone. There are people doing deals in your market.
Well, that's the other thing too. That's what, so that's one of the things that I don't know about you, but aside from being called lucky, that's the thing that probably
Oh,
pisses me off the
lucky
most.
pisses me off.
Yeah. So yeah, lucky pisses me off. But the other one that pisses me off is when I drive by and I see that there's work being done at a house, clearly flip work being done at a house, and that it was never on market and that I didn't have a chance to buy it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then I looked right at my phone, address. What did it close? And I'm like, how did I not see? Like,
What
there was
happened?
one, yeah, there was one that went down in a town that I do business in probably 3 years ago, and I'm still apoplectic. I'm just completely just, I fit to be tied. Like, I need to own that property someday. I mean, it sold for half of market when it sold 3 years ago. Half
Wow.
of 3 years ago's market.
Oh,
Now,
jeez.
yeah, now it's worth 3x what they paid for it. And I'm
Oh,
just like,
good for them.
yay for them.
Yay
Better
for them.
me.
Well, now you have a story that's fuel that will make you.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Trust me on that. Yeah, I got a story that's fuel.
That's what people need to hear, right? Again, how do I keep looking every day? Well, it's, it's just, it is what it is. It's fuel, right? So I don't know if this is going to become a thing. I think it will. I think I'm going to have a top 10 list of things in my past that maybe would be obstacles or seen as negatives for others, but they're all going to be fuel that I use and hopefully explain some of my odd behavior, theories about money. It's my history. I use it. And I just keep the daily discipline, folks. Focus in daily discipline. Watch the market, lending, crazy media. Yeah, there's something here.
Was it by design that all of your millionaires are self-starting and
No,
Isn't that amazing?
It's amazing. Part of this, fuel or excuses idea came from evaluating each of my experts.
Yeah.
I mean, just go through
from
the
nothing.
week, right? Greg, quit a restaurant job to basically do odd jobs and become a big company. Yourself, 9th grade dropout. Omar was working in a restaurant. Anna was, a finance person who ends up selling her house and moving into a fourplex, a house hack. Jonathan was a burned out lawyer. And then Ty was, just been a real estate broker. I mean, and then we got Laura Morby, who, it was a mom at 20.
Right.
Everybody's, I mean, it only hit me when I started thinking about this.
Yeah.
The experts, everything is fuel.
That's what I was looking at. I mean, all of these people turned life circumstance
into fuel
and recognized that they had to do something different to change it. And now there isn't one person in that group that isn't a multimillionaire.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
Many times over.
And again, the other point is they all still have hard days. We all talk off camera about this or that. It's still hard. Our life is still hard, folks. It's just that we have fuel and experience to get us through. So,
well, and they're all doing the things that made them wealthy.
Yeah, exactly.
They're all still doing them.
Yeah. They're not all over the place. They're focused.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
Very cool. This has been a very fun conversation. I appreciated these 3 videos today. How can people find you?
lumberjacklandlord.com and Lumberjack Landlord on YouTube, and our Thursday fun times with Mike, Dion, and myself, which are they're so much fun.
Yeah.
Because I never know how I'm going to be wrong that day. I'm always excited to hear.
All right, buddy. Thank you very much for this, and we'll talk on Thursday.
Thanks, Mike. Talk soon.
Yep.